In the previous video, we spoke about what sequencing was. So let's have a small recap about what sequencing is. Sequencing basically means that you follow a certain set of actions in a particular order in order to reach a final result. So in today's class, we will talk about variables. So what are variables? Variables basically is like a box where you can store items into it. Now, let's say that you have a box and you want to, we can call this variable as box. So now you have a variable which is named as box. Now let's say that you want to add an item called lunch into it, right? So you can have lunch into it, and then you can have your box basically has lunch into it. So your box has lunch in it now. So you created a variable which is known as box, and your box has lunch in it. Now the property of a variable is that you can add just one type of item at a time. Now let's say that you want to add an item pen into this box, right? Now, if you want to add a pen into this, you cannot add it with lunch being inside the box, right? For now, you need to get rid of your lunch and then replace your lunch with pen inside it. So now your box no more has lunch in it, it has pen inside it. So at a time, you can add just one item. You cannot add pen, comma, lunch inside your variable. So this is the first property of a variable. Now, the second property of a variable is that the flow of data, by data, I mean, you can store the flow of your storage goes from right to left, which means your data or your item is flowing from right to left. Your pen flows from right to left inside your box. So what is variables? Variables basically mean it's like a container which store an item inside it, which holds an item inside it. Now the item can be either in the form of a number or in the form of a text. Now in programming language, we call your text as this type of data for text. In programming language, we call it as strings. All right, and for the numbers, we call the data to be as integers. All right, and let's say you have a data which is in the form of a decimal value. We call such data to be as float. And the fourth set of the type of data which we have in programming is Boolean. So Boolean basically means some true or false values. Okay, so these are the three set of data types or the type of data that we learn in programming. Strings basically are texts, integers are numbers, regular numbers, and float are decimal values. The type of data is decimals, and your Boolean are true or false values. All right. Now, let's move on to variables. Now, let's see how we can add an item inside a variable. So in order to do that, you can go to your variables block. You should set your variable. Let's create a variable. Let's call it box1. Now, you set your box1. You created a variable which is called box1. Now, in order to add an item inside this, let's say you want to add a number inside it. So let's go to math, the math block. You can go ahead, drag this number block, and then you can add any number that you want to add. Now let's say 2. So you have stored 2 inside your box1 variable. So 2 goes inside your box1. Now, as you can see, when you click on the run, you don't see anything on the screen, right? So In order to show anything on the screen in programming, we will use a function known as print. So a print statement basically. So a print statement basically lets you show an item onto the screen or any kind of a statement or a text, anything that you want to add onto the screen or show onto the screen. If you want to show an outcome or a result, you can use your print statement to do that. So now let's say we want to show the item that is stored inside box one. We basically want to show what is stored inside box one. So in order to do that, you can go to your variables and then select the name of the variable, and then when you run the program, you can see that what is stored inside your box one is shown onto your screen. Now, if you want to add, let's say if you want to add a text, if you want to store a text, so the data type for text are strings. Let's say you want to store a string inside your box one, right? So in order to do that, you can just get rid of this two, go to your text, and then you can add this block over here, and then let's say lunch. You want to add lunch inside box one. There you go. See, if you see on the left, there is lunch, which is stored inside box one, and then you printed your box one, the value inside box one gets shown onto the screen. So you can have multiple set of variables. You can create different set of variables, and then you can store different values inside it. Now, if you go to your math, you can see there's something known as random integers, right? Which lets you access random integers, which means random numbers from a set of values. So if you see onto the left on the screen, you can see that each time you run the program, a different random number gets stored inside your box one and it gets shown onto the screen. Now also, if you look at it, we are using our concept of sequencing as well in it. So what is the concept of sequencing that we learned in the first class? We need to follow a right order of steps, right? So in this case, we have to set our value. You have to create a variable first, and then you gotta set that value that you want to store inside your variable. You gotta store it, and then third step, the third sequence is to show it or print it onto the screen. So this is the pattern, or this is the sequence of steps that we follow in creating a variable and storing a variable. Now, if you want to add, let's say, multiple items inside your box one, let's say you add hi inside, you can go ahead and say hi inside box one. And if you want to create another variable, you can go to variables again and then you can create another variable which says box two. Click on create, and then you can go to text again. And let's say you want to say hi, John. Now, in order to print it, you say go to print and then go to variables, and then you can add your box one into it, and then go to text again, go to print again, and then you can add your box two into it. And then if you click on run, there you go. So you can see that hi and John gets printed in different lines, right? Now, if you want to add both of this in the same line, right? So your Sprite Lab lets you do that by using your join block. So if you want to combine both of it together, what you can try doing is you can just get your join block and you can add your variables into this box one and box two. And if you run it, there you go. Hi, John gets added together. So basically, if you want to give it a space, you can just add a space after hi. There you go. Now it created a space over there, and then you can say hi, John together. So your join block basically lets you combine two values together. All right, and this is how so if you see the sequence of steps, you first set the box, you created a variable called as box one. Then the second step was to add the item into the box. And the third step was to print it. And the fourth step was to join it together, right? So this is the sequence of steps that you need to follow to add an item into a variable and show it onto the screen. Now, as an exercise, what you can try doing is you can create a set of 5 boxes: box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4, and box 5. And you can store different items into it, and you can use your join block to print the number of the box and the value stored next to it. So your output should look like something like this. Box 1 has pen inside it. Box 2 has books inside it. In such a way, create 5 blocks and then show it onto the screen in this pattern. So that's it with variables. In the next class, we will talk about operators and how to use, how we can try and add different values that are stored inside your variables, how we can try to multiply different items that are stored in the variables, divide, subtract, basically create different set of operations using your variables. We will see that in the next video.